Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode. Is this eight? Episode 8.
Ocho.
Episode 8 of the Theatergoers. As you all know, my name's Tony. Got my boy Tafari here as my co-host.
What up?
For those of you who are new, welcome. You're in for a good show tonight because we both got some opinions about the movie we checked out today called Brightburn. We both got some opinions on it. If any of you have watched last week, we let fate decide with Dungeon Dice whether we should watch Aladdin or Brightburn.
I'll say as far as like the next few weeks of content, we made the right call.
The next few weeks, yes. But as far as this
last
week,
Tuesday, I want my $5 back.
I don't want to roll those dice ever again. I'm sorry, you can't.
I would like a golden or silver pass or whatever it's called at AMC.
Anything like that. But anyway, for Brightburn, but we are going to talk about Aladdin later on this week. Does he like Invicta? Depends on the day. For those of you who are curious as to what he's. It's not that day.
All right, you can't see him, but on camera we have
a new member of the Amplified
We have a mascot
network.
now. We have Tyrion of the House Amplified.
And he could not be any cuter.
We're doing 3 shows today. Like we were pre-recording some, we're doing some live. There's a lot of people in the house. He's very excited. So getting him to sit down right now is a no.
If you see him running around, if you see us just whistling at something,
or if the camera gets knocked over
again, you already know exactly what's going on.
Tyrion, come here.
And then also what we're covering today is that entire little controversy.
You're not my dad.
Tyrion. Okay, what we're covering today is
Johnny
Depp versus his ex-wife?
His ex-wife, I believe.
Or going to be ex-wife.
The Sonic movie
Amber
delayed.
Heard. For those of you who might not even know who those people are, I know you don't know who Amber Heard is.
No.
That's okay. So. That's okay. Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow, that's pretty much all you need to know who that is. And then Amber Heard, if y'all seen Aquaman, it's the redhead chick. I haven't seen Aquaman.
I still haven't either.
But apparently none of us have. That just tells
I'll
you exactly what we need
just
to
kidding.
Know.
Support official DVDs.
That tells you exactly what you need to know about Aquaman. But she's the hot red one, basically the queen to Aquaman. But
you can always get Hermione.
We can always get Hermione. Right, whatchamacallit? You can start with the Amber Heard controversy.
Let's jump off since we actually have. I think we have our photos in again. So once again, a shout out to all of our people at MegaCon who came to hang out and talk to us. You guys are appreciated. To our people at the Valencia Voice and Press with Jess.
That's right.
Those were our people in the Mario and Luigi
costume. That's who they were?
That's who took the photo and tagged us.
Oh, that's
and then she wrote the article for Valencia Voice. I also attended a panel hosted by Amplified Network to learn more about podcasting. Questions about how to start and continue a podcast were addressed. One tip to take away from the panel was not to focus on your number of listeners. We just have fun up here.
That's right.
So
and we love you guys for tuning in anyway.
All the people from the Pokemon Go Orlando Discord who pulled up. MegaCon for retweeting our photo.
That was you. That was all you. You had to get them to retweet you. Bro.
Sometimes it's just timing it right. Yeah. Then the Facebook page Comes to Orlando, which I guess they do like local and small businesses and whatnot. So they gave us a shout out, and apparently they took a bunch of photos with us too. So them, and then everybody who stayed after to take a photo with us, I appreciate you for staying and talking, and because we were, especially Anthony. Amp was really freaking out and seeing all the love afterwards.
He was the one telling everybody that it was like, guys, there's a real chance no one might show up. Boy. Do you know who he is?
And he really appreciates the sentiments of all you guys coming to hang out and talk and hang out with us later and take photos and all your 1,000 questions all the way to where we were interrupting the next panel.
That's right.
Good times. Good stuff. So, yeah, we'll jump into the drama. What is it? 87 videos of Amber Heard attacking Johnny Depp.
And it did. I don't know. I don't know about you. Did it specifically what's it mean by attack? Like, physically, mentally, emotionally?
I think it's a mix of everything. Like I'm sure that if I'm correct, I think there's probably a mix of like everything, but there's also a Dragon Ball lawsuit where one of the physical attacks was being tickled too hard.
So every time she got loud, he just went, "Okay, hold on, hold on."
They do it.
Let me start this.
NFL and basketball, people's wives in sports do it all the time, and they win.
That's true.
So I wouldn't be surprised if 87 counts turns out to be like 17 that are credible.
And so the main gist that's coming from the Amber Heard Johnny Depp article is apparently when Amber Heard did the same thing about Johnny, he got kicked off of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for that. Disney didn't want that type of negative publicity or whatever the case may be. All I know is that it basically cost Johnny Depp his job. Or not his career, because he had a career, but
because
they
had
job.
a Pirates 4 that was like, and I have it at home. I still haven't watched it. Where he was like hanging around mermaids and stuff. Apparently, then they did a new Pirates, I believe, a 5th one with the classic cast.
But I can't remember if Johnny was in there or not.
I think he was.
Was he?
I only saw the first 3.
You know, I gave up after 3 too. Yeah.
Like you
With
can't
the
even.
OG
How do you have a Pirates movie without Johnny Depp?
But that's the point.
Like
that
the fact that he was the main star of the 4th film carried the fact that the other ones were gone.
he was the star of the whole franchise.
And then they
even
got-
with the OG crew.
And
you
I
know?
think they got Johnny Depp, if not someone very similar, to do Pirates of the Caribbean for Kingdom Hearts 3 because they do the whole At World's End arc with him.
You
and
don't think it was Depp?
it might have been. I didn't check the.
The credits or anything like
Whoever credits are long. No, whoever did it did a very good impersonation. If it wasn't him, but
Okay.
they did the whole At World's End with like the whole battling the whole typhoon. It was like the big boss fight and killing the
Right,
Kraken.
right.
So they did that whole thing, but Pirates has been like a decent franchise up until now. I didn't even know he was off of it.
that? Money, it spends money, but it makes money at the same time
Yeah.
too. That whole franchise. So now, basically, now with Depp. Oh, there you go. That's why. Tyrion's our mascot. He don't like being picked up like that.
Okay, we know Tyrion doesn't like to leave the
Or
ground.
whatchamacallit. But basically with
Sit boy. Good job.
Good boy. For those of you who don't know, he actually sat down and took a bone. That was very graceful of him. Basically, since Johnny Depp lost his job because of the Amber Heard complaints, now fans of Johnny Depp want the same thing to happen to Amber Heard and get her kicked off of Aquaman 2. Karma. I mean, if what she did cost him his job, it should be fair.
I mean, you get back the energy you put into the world. That's what
saying.
happens. So
I
even
believe in karma. You
even
believe in karma.
even if it doesn't go through, she's gonna end up being the reason that any future Aquaman or DC property with her in it feel like if it suffers or is harmed in any way, they're gonna do to her with like movies what they've been doing to Captain Marvel and Brie Larson.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's
Which-
true. And then, but you already know if she does lose her job, that Aquaman 2 will probably need some massive rewriting, probably.
Probably, but I feel like I didn't even see the first Aquaman movie.
Yeah, have I. So.
But so who is she even supposed to be as far as the cast?
Basically, his queen. Like, basically how I think it starts off is he's Aquaman, but he doesn't belong in either world because he's a half-breed, half human, half Aquaman or whatever. And then she basically brings him back saying, we need a king. Your half-brother is Psycho, and you need to face him in like royal combat or in a battle or something. And then basically she's the one that brings him back. They slowly but surely fall in love, and she ends up his queen or something.
Yeah, I believe that's like the story they usually kind of go with as far as like shows like the Justice League and like Justice League Unlimited. Although they were violent, that man cut off his own hand.
I know, dude. That was nuts. I remember the show. I remember when they did that
when they
to
had
him.
when his half brother had him strapped to the rock with his baby, so the next heir to the throne dies too.
Pretty much.
And the only option he had was to take the blade and like slice his hand off so that they could escape. That
Badass.
was nuts.
That was badass though. And then whatchamacallit? Did you see Justice League?
Yeah.
Okay, when I forget what's his name, Steppenwolf came to the water.
Yeah.
She was the one that came up in there like, "What you doing in my land?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was
there. You go.
She
Yeah.
It was kind of. I felt it was weird to have him as the villain for the movie. Like they
that
gave
like, whole thing is a whole.
they had a
discussion.
prelude to it in Dawn of Justice, which didn't even make it into the extended director's cut.
Yeah, naturally.
Because
So that whole thing is a whole nother discussion.
it was weird. He kind of disappointed me because they made him look the super badass, like cool character, and he was the total opposite when you watch the
He was lame
film.
as hell.
So apparently this movie redeemed Aquaman's character, but if she's not going to be in it, I feel like they could
mean-
easily replace her. I mean, they replaced Dumbledore in every movie for us growing up, and we never noticed.
That's true. That's a good point.
So
So then-
Say we didn't notice.
I didn't know. I thought it was like a running gag by the third movie. We never do the same Dumbledore.
So then I believe, fire is fire, like karma's karma. So basically, if Johnny Depp lost his job over all this bullcrap, I think she should lose her job too. We haven't seen the videos, we haven't seen the evidence or whatever that's called.
But keep in mind, Disney and DC are not even remotely the same.
No, that's very true because Disney's winning the game. DC's definitely not.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
Disney will gain the last Infinity Stone that is DC Comics. Restart the entire franchise over. Give us just whole new origin movies.
I honestly don't think people would hate that. People
we'll have
love that.
Avengers on the left side of the planet.
Disney's standards are different than most other companies' standards.
They let the Avengers do what they want, though.
I mean,
they knew not to mess with it.
There's no like.
No, I'm saying
no,
as
like,
far
big
as what
Disney
you're
Castle
doing.
intro coming in the Finnegan Marvel movies. That'd be a whole. If that was how Marvel movies started, that'd be a whole different kid-friendly property.
Well, okay, yes, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm saying as far as how the actors live their lives outside of what they're doing, like for the company. Disney cares because Disney's brand is 100% like family friendly, whereas
that's why they got rid of Depp so quickly after those.
Right,
claims.
that's why I'm saying I don't know that it's going to negatively affect her the same way.
True.
Because it's not Disney.
I mean,
that is a valid point.
Bad publicity is still publicity for
Ask the
DC
Kardashians.
Comics. So, for those of you who don't know who's talking, that's Kenzie, our producer, basically also a boss.
So yeah, but if you look like in the photos, apparently like they have. I mean, they could be Photoshop, but swollen eyes, swollen face, bruises. So someone else is saying Johnny Depp is a victim of abuse and not a perpetrator. Abusers often throw things at him, severed his middle finger, hit, punched, and kicked him. She cheated on him, had the nerve to go to court and ask for a RO falsely claiming he had abused her.
I don't think fidelity should be a part of this because I'm pretty sure they both cheated on each other. She's like,
that's
what?
Usually
She's
how
like, what, 26?
That's
and
usually what
Johnny
I hear
Depp.
in like most failing marriages, but a lot of the time what gets overlooked because I've had friends who had this is like, yes, we were technically cheating, but she started it, and I was like done with the relationship anyway. Our paperwork had just not been filed.
Basically, they're
so there's like cheating as far as like
separated.
backstabbing, but then there's like separated, and we're
They're
already
technically separated, but they still live in the same house, and the divorce isn't final, and all that nonsense.
Yeah, so
They might not even live in the same house.
I don't think
that's
they
another
do
thing.
anymore. I don't think they do anymore.
I've heard of couples who get back together because they're too broke to break up. Like, I'm just gonna live in two.
I don't think that's the case here.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. There's like I've heard of stories where like people are like, well, we couldn't afford to move out.
No,
so
totally true.
I went into a guest room. He stayed in the master bedroom, and
we just
eventually,
went our own way.
in 6 months, we were just like back together again.
Totally agree. I just don't think
Budget
that's the case
saved.
here. They both got money, especially Depp. Depp. And then, any more highlights from that you want to point up on?
That's as far as I got. I'm just curious to see how this plays out, and then we can move on to the next
Yeah,
topic.
because this is all like starting.
This is
from
all
Depp
speculation.
submitting all these videos. We haven't heard exactly what's going to happen to him, although he already got fired from Pirates of the Caribbean, or her. That's the thing.
So we still got to see what he gets as far as, I guess, legal issues. What all is credible?
Because that was almost a week ago.
Yeah, so
that
now
whole
we got to
thing
see what
started.
stands credibly. We got to see what actually is like
just
confirmed.
what happens, how DC
what
plays
the
it.
court doesn't want to throw out if DC does anything. Which I watched a clip of Doom Patrol today. I might actually go watch the show. It looked hilarious. Like it was kind of weird what was going on. I won't say it on camera, but it was like. It was different. I was like, this seems not as dark and edgy as everyone is saying Titans is. I might go look at it.
Okay, true that. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, we let fate decide.
Oh, we still got more news.
We still got more news?
Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
So Sonic is being redesigned, and
Thank God.
we are officially moving it back to
Valentine's
May.
Day.
Yeah, Valentine's
Valentine's
Day
Day.
2020, which I think
Thank
is a weird
God.
day, but I don't mind it. Last time Sonic got delayed, or last time we had a Sonic-related delay, it's because they were putting him in a brawl, and he had what I think was the most badass entry of any Smash Bros. Character in the game. Came through and murked the final boss, or at least put some damage on him, and had like the most cool entry, and it's like, now Sonic has joined the battle. And he was my first person I let go and get sacrificed.
That's what's up.
Because you have to pick 5 characters, and you're not going to make it out of it. You're going to get at least 3 who get...
No, it's fair. It's fair.
At least 3 of them are
Totally
not going to make it out of there.
understandable.
Subspace Emissary is one of the greatest stories in gaming.
I honestly am not angry about the delay because
I'm not. If you delay it,
they need to do that.
If you delay a video game or anything else to further your product, I'm not mad at it. But if you keep promising things like some company like Crackdown 3, that game was announced like 5 years ago. And Crackdown, if you've played it, it's like the most masculine beat 'em up, shoot 'em up, literally destroy everything, and you get more powers. But now you do it in 2019, and your face of the franchise is Terry Crews, who went the whole feminism route. You lose, which nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, by the time the game has come out, the person who was like the face of the whole manpower masculine game is going out against manpower and masculinity. You kind of shoot yourself in the foot for taking so damn long.
True that.
And then the game itself was weak, from what I'm hearing.
True that, but at the same time, we all saw the trailer for Sonic. I
didn't hate it. I
didn't hate it either, but everyone knows what Sonic looks like because they grew up with him.
So when Yuji Naka came out, it was like, even the creator of Sonic, who I have on Facebook, luckily, was like, yeah, I like the fan-made one better. And then they changed it. I was like, respect his decisions. Give him a Stan Lee cameo, please.
Was he part of the creative process?
He was like,
though?
he was.
Did they just like?
He was the head of. Oh no, I don't think so. I was just like, that was my deciding factor of Sonic needs to change, because when people were legit screenshotting him like me, like this dude literally made Sonic, and the fact that he came out and was like, put it back the way you found it. So he didn't have he's been done with Sonic. He like does something with like race cars or something now. He left Sonic Team, I want to say like 06 to 08. Whenever Sonic 06 dropped that one for Xbox 360,
right.
The last like decent one minus all like the loading and glitches, he left after that. Then they did Sonic Colors, and now they have the whole recast and Sonic Boom and all the weird spin-offs that I'm not a fan of.
I tell you what though, he still left such a huge impact.
He did
on the whole franchise.
Everything. Oh look, are you playing Sonic Forces? There's a game for mobile. Oh, Sonic Dash. I have that one. Okay, I had that one on my last iPhone, and I had a high score of like 2 million. Got my new phone, and all of it's reset. So all my characters are gone. They made it hard to get stars to unlock new characters. So I had like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, Silver. I had everyone almost unlocked. Now you got to unlock Tails. You got to unlock like the basic starter characters now.
I'm so sorry, bro.
So it's hard. I go back. But the thing is, if you look at Sonic,
throw your phone at the wall. I'm like,
basically.
No.
So like, if you look at it, everything from like Sonic 1 to like Sonic 06 is in like the same timeline. So you got Sonic 1, 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3, Sonic the Fighter, Sonic Racing, Sonic R, Sonic CD, which was introduced Amy Rose, which we talked about like I was explaining to Vance a while ago on Anime Club when we pre-recorded. What else? Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2 leads right into Sonic Heroes, which then follows right into Shadow the Hedgehog, leads right into Sonic 06. There's like a whole, if you look at it there, that dude built a whole empire of timelines, or a whole Sonic time. He built a whole Sonic timeline that worked well and didn't really retcon each other, and even did good as far as the anime. So happy to see that they're at least taking into consideration, hey, we should probably redesign if everyone is complaining and this is our fan base, take a step back, see what we can do, maybe get some of these fan animated people to holler at us.
So
Shadow Pop, courtesy of MegaCon last year.
There you go. I'll tell you what, if for those of you who remember on episode 6, Detective Pikachu, we told y'all, we revealed to y'all that it was the highest debut for a video game movie. So
now they have that to deal with,
which was like 58 mil.
Right.
Do you think that once they fix Sonic, once he looks how he's supposed to look, blah blah blah, do you think he's gonna beat Pikachu?
I feel like he might have a good run if they do him right, but no.
Because it's like a weekend debut, which means Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sonic isn't gripping kids these days. That sounded wrong. Sonic isn't reaching the youth these days the way that Pokemon is. Pokemon has been consistent with video games, and even the ones that people don't like, people still, as like an overall like user reaction score, Pokemon's always trended in the positive. So to see a Pokemon movie coming, I'm not surprised it did that well. Sonic hasn't had that action. Sonic will have like maybe one good game, and then the next game comes, and it's
just a classic.
Yeah,
though.
Like it used to be good to where it's like Sonic was like, okay, you know the game, have fun, enjoy the story, find the secret bosses, get the Chaos Emerald, Supersonic. Supersonic isn't even like a thing anymore. You play to the story and it's like game over. Supersonic is like an unlockable costume in the latest games. Like it's not even something with like a huge boss fight anymore. It's like, oh, here's story. Here's like some villains. The end. And then they have the nerve with Sonic Forces to make Shadow like a day one DLC character. So they just have not been able to nail it correctly. There's a new Sonic racing game out that's doing surprisingly well. Like it's no Mario Kart, but it's no Mario Kart, but they did. I got the last one because it was free on 360.
It has Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope von Schweetz.
Yeah, that was a weird crossover. She was in the. Is it the newest one that just came out, or is it Sonic All Stars from like the 360?
I think it's the newer one.
Did he just pick it up, or did he like download it?
I think he downloaded it, so it might have been.
It might have been the free one.
But
yeah,
either
Wreck-It
way,
Ralph,
I was real confused.
Wreck-It Ralph, Penelope's in it. Who else? Because they're not Sega characters. Wreck-It Ralph, Penelope.
I know.
And who else? Danica Patrick was in the last one. Danica Patrick was in the Sonic game in the race. So it's interesting, and they have their own take on it. But they were smart to release it now while they have traction. Because second Crash Team Racing comes out, everyone's picking that up. Like Mario Kart's going into a dry period. Sonic Racing's going into a dry period. Crash is taking that throne.
Okay, that's what's up.
All right, so moving on.
And then in terms of speaking of debut, as we mentioned, we put it up between Brightburn and Aladdin. Fate gave us Brightburn. Okay.
Yeah, Memorial Day box office. Aladdin wishes for #1 spot with 105 million. Brightburn crashes to earn with 9 million. Although I think Brightburn had a $1 million budget, which explains some.
Still pretty.
You got $8
million. Made money.
$8 million in profit.
And up to this point, I just double checked it now right before we started it. So Aladdin's already over $200 million for box office.
Right.
Up to now, and Brightburn just hit over 17 million. So it's already like doubled that from the opening debut. But the thing is, apparently Brightburn is matching estimates from what the studio was expecting of it. Aladdin's doing better than what they expected of it.
At least if that's kind of the movie Brightburn is, though. That's
true.
You get your money's worth, but you're not getting anything over spectacular. They got a decent return on investment, but nothing to where it's like we're just drowning in all this green. Let's do 1,000 different things with it.
I'll tell you exactly what I was expecting from Brightburn. And don't get me wrong, it basically made itself look like a horror movie. It looked like it was going to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
But now when I think of horror movies, I think of like The Conjuring.
The Conjuring was a
like
good one.
Annabelle.
Never saw those. I didn't
know. But you know the type of degree
I didn't
I'm
realize those
about.
were in the same like cinematic universe too.
Annabelle was a spin-off of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
But like one of my favorite horror movies is The Conjuring. Scared the crap out of me when I first watched it, and even now and then I still watch it and I still get, oh my god, no, I know this coming. I gotta watch like something else right before I go to bed, right? But the thing is, that's how I picture horror movies now. I hold it to that kind of regard. Brightburn did not do that for me.
No, I told you, they marketed it as a horror movie, and everyone went in going, it was like, whenever he does something violent, everyone's like, yeah, do more of that. Everyone went,
and we
everyone went
half
in,
of it.
Everyone went in with the expectation of,
right,
we're not even going to go see a horror movie. We're going to see Evil Superman. So right there, that already throws you off from the horror aspect. And then there was
we knew it was coming because there was basically like, what if a superhero had gone bad? What if Superman wasn't Superman? You know how it opened that whole window.
Yeah.
So I know you got some opinions on it. I want to hear you first.
That movie, well, I'm not going to say it was trash, but Jesus Christ. Here's the moral of the story I got from the movie.
Okay, he got props with this. I'm so excited. I didn't know he would bring this out.
Beat your kids. That is my moral from this movie. Beat your children. That would have solved.
Can you not yell? Probably terrified.
Sorry. Beat your children. Beat your kids. That would have solved every single problem in the movie. When he put his father through a wall, he's not meaning to hurt anybody. He won't do anything. I'm like, bitch, this is literally like your 8th warning. You know what my favorite part of Brightburn was? Me and every black man in the theater I've never met before in unison going, shit. Numerous times.
I was thinking the same thing like so many times.
The two dudes.
Especially the dinner scene. Oh, my God. Oh my God! I don't think I've ever wanted to smack a kid more in my life. And I agree. I agree with this discipline because I got disciplined.
Let me rephrase it. Discipline your children.
There you go.
When needed.
You never know who's watching. Discipline. I agree with this type of discipline because that's how I was raised, and I turned out, But I'm okay for the most part, right?
But that was my thing though with the movie. Like his
mom.
But
here's the thing though. Let's say they did discipline him, right? At least in those moments that we saw in the movie, it would not have worked on him.
But the thing is, even if he came out the same, it would be more understood. Like there are just too many. Again, me and all the dudes. There's 3 dudes to my left in the theater. There's 5 dudes in the front row. There's 3 dudes like a couple rows ahead of me. Shit. Multiple, and then you hear people, shh, quiet. I'm like, this movie stopped being entertaining 30 minutes ago. We are the entertainment. Shut up. But yeah, like every child, no matter, even Superman didn't want to disappoint his dad. Like even Superman growing up had times where he's
are you saying Superman got his ass whooped?
Superman
was disappointed?
Possibly. Even Superman may have not gotten whooped as a kid. Superman at least had like morals of, I don't want to hurt my parents' feelings, or these are still my family, even if they're not my real dad and mom. This kid goes and talks to a spaceship. Spoiler alert, by the way. We're now in the spoiler. We gave up. We're now in the spoiler portion of this movie. The kid talks to a spaceship that we find out
does the spaceship talk to him?
Either way, the spaceship we find out the spaceship told him 3 words. Not Clark Kent meets his father and you're from Krypton. The spaceship said 3 words for like 3 nights straight. Something. Take the world. It just kept telling him
take the world.
It didn't say kill everybody. It didn't say these people are beneath you. This kid suddenly talks to a ship, gets 3 words in English, and suddenly forgets that he's a child. That was my problem. Superman realizes I'm a little boy. I maybe have powers. I should not be able to push a bus, and if I do this in front of people, it's going to freak them out.
This kid realizes able to heat up a door handle if I'm stuck in there or something.
And he realizes if I do this in public, it's going to freak people out. This kid, none of
that.
Not
give up.
He just, if I can put it that way, this whole movie is just the bad guy wins in every aspect. That was because I had to talk to a friend to make sure I wasn't tripping. He just wins in every aspect of life. Like the fact that
everyone he aims for, everyone he touches gets killed.
He just forgets the fact that. And then there was some points of part of just that had nothing to do with him being a kid, had nothing to do with him being an alien. There was some of that was just sick shit. If you saw it as a human being or if you saw a teenager doing this, you need therapy. When they found the pictures of the Victoria's Secret magazines, like, oh, look at that. Then they find the photos of which we don't know if were human or animal dissections.
Just organs, human organs.
My parents wouldn't be like, oh, maybe. And my parents would be like, where the fuck did you get this? Like, where did you get these fully laminated organ dissection pictures from? His mom just puts it back under the bed. We're not going to talk about it. No, because
they were like that. They were like, okay, sexy.
Organs. Just straight up dissection.
Human anatomy.
But they were like
dissection.
full on. Take them to Walgreens and print them out photos. So his parents were like, we're just not going to talk about it. As to where any other mother would have been like, what the hell is this and where did you get it? Who gave you these photos?
And then, of course, like the dad kind of makes it worse because he thinks it's time for that talk.
The dad
was dumb. Was dumb as hell.
No, the mom. The
dad was dumb as hell in that moment, and then he was right, and then he was the smart one. The mom was just being the mom.
Mom gets an F for parenting. Dad was trying to do right by his son, have the birds and the bees. Dad didn't realize his son was a psychopath. So when he had the birds and the bees talk, and he sneaks into the little girl's room and creeps her out, and then when he breaks her hand, I was like, okay. But then when he tries to hit on her after that, he's like, my mom said I can't talk to you. I'll deal with that. I'm like, even if that alien ship did, because somebody tried to write a review where it's like, remember the dissections, and he did know about bugs in the beginning of the movie for 30 seconds. He saw himself as like the superior being, and everyone below him were bugs and blah blah. I'm like,
and
but
that's what he said to the therapist lady.
He's still been in this mindset of a human child for 11 years. So you understand that there's a hierarchy that you don't just overcome because you talk to a spaceship. Because you don't just overcome that hierarchy and how normal things work in the world because this alien ship told you to that no one knows exists and you have powers that you haven't told anybody about. What pissed me off the most is when they acknowledge, we found you in a spaceship. He goes and shoots laser beams into the woods. and we just cut to the next scene. We're just not gonna. Like my friend has a saying whenever there's drama and people would ignore like the basis of stuff, he's like, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Wait, well, hold up. When he finally translated all that shit in his head, after his mom had told him everything, he said, "Take the world, laser beams," and then he shows up at the girl's house, didn't he?
No, they showed up at the girl's house when he was in the woods. Remember?
No. That was yeah. Because his dad was like, "Oh, so you have certain urges. You got you something."
And then that's when he went the first time.
The first time behind the curtains, playing that love song, and then after he learned "Take the World." After his mom told him he was from a spaceship, that's when he went to deliver the flowers to the girl.
Yeah.
And said, "I'll take care of your mom."
Yeah, and again, why? I get that you have the superiority complex as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy. Where in your mind does it work that says, "Hey, she'll love me if I kill her mother"? And then when you look at
after I destroyed her hand,
like no villain. I mean, maybe like Lex Luthor, but even he's smart. Even Lex Luthor has like that complex, rich. But he's normal around people.
Yeah,
like he's that way behind closed doors. This kid is just like the ship.
That's how he has money. He knows he's superior, but he handles himself with
the whole thing is just he suddenly transcends. I'm a kid. People aren't gonna listen to like when he starts talking shit to all the adults. It'd be good for you and the cops if nobody talked to my mom. And the whole time I'm like, is he forgetting that he's 12? Like, if you didn't know you had powers a week ago, you would be sitting here pissing yourself because you think you're going to get in trouble.
And no one's going to take the word of a kid seriously.
And my thing is, so we're just not going to talk about it. The lights flicker, and even the diner people look at him like, what the hell wrong with your child? And the lights flicker. He tries to take the BB gun.
I know, he's like, give it to me.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk about it.
Now.
You put your dad through the china cabinet.
Everything shut down when he did that, too.
We don't really get explanations to that either. Like why he suddenly can affect electricity and signals, why the ship is the only thing that can hurt him, and why we don't know if there's more of him or not. Where the hell the ship even came from? Like there was no Father of Krypton message.
That's the thing. I think they set it up just like if you saw the after credit scene with Michael Rooker talking on the
I
YouTube
thought he was
thing.
going to bump it and kill him too for talking shit.
I know, me too, but he mentioned all those other people, all those other villains.
Yeah.
So there's a hunch, there's a theory that they're just introducing its own little universe now
possibly
of villains.
Like I keep thinking there's gonna be, I don't know. You keep thinking there's gonna be a moment where he gets humbled and realizes, okay, I'm strong, but I can still be hurt. No, like the point, even the part where he gets mad, like. You go out and get hit and try to break into the basement. In first off, that part, this thing flies in from outer space. First off, you say there's wolves out there. They either just didn't come to eat him or they were scared off by the ship.
I love how that was on. That was just straight up like, damn, wolves are here again. Like wolves? What you mean wolves? Dog?
I mean, yeah, it's like. That's another thing. So he breaks the girl's hand. We're not going to talk about it. He just shot lasers at his face. We're not going to talk about it. You put your dad through a china cabinet. We're not going to talk about it. He ripped off a door and killed all the chickens. It was probably the wolves. By the end of the movie, you're just like, no one is this stupid. So by the time the dad tries to do him old Yeller, George and Lenny, Mouse and Men style, you're like there were so many other options before you got to.
Oh, I love that. That was a good one.
I'm gonna tend to the rabbits, George. Bang. There were so many other, like that was because Lenny kept going into different cities and making them have to pack up and move overnight. Like when you look at the lore of that story, that was like their 5th or 4th town that Lenny has gotten them to run away from. And George realizes I got to do this because he's gonna ruin my life forever.
But nice reference. I like that. That was a good.
So I already can see Cinema Sins giving them a sin for this. You now choose to shoot him like a dog and like old Yeller. There were so many other options that you could have done. And even when the kid gets angry, you lied to me. I'm like, you went and tried to break into the spaceship 3 nights in a row. Now you're just not getting upset. And even if you are, they could have just left you in the woods. What exactly are you upset about? Like, I'm confused as to his fits of anger. How dare you? Like, you guys lied to me. It goes out, shoots laser beams into the woods. And my problem was every time we cut to the next scene, you ever notice it was just a huge pan of like wherever they're at? Next scene, freeze frame of the house. Next scene, freeze frame of the school. Next scene, the diner.
I'm
Next
loving
scene,
this. I'll just let it
like,
go.
I was noticing every time we started a scene, you just got this flat panning shot of like the house. And I'm like, we've been at the house for the last like 45 minutes out of this hour and 30 film. Like, that was what pisses me off. Like, Superman had he still understood, like, the complex of I'm a kid in a world amongst adults. I have these powers. Let me try to be responsible, even if I'm
versus this kid.
Even in like, there's a movie out where Superman I think is the son of Zod, and he does like kill people. But even then, he's Lex Luthorish with it. He's like, let me not be such a dick in front of people. Let me just play it off until it's time for me.
Versus this kid who just took the superiority.
And he's just like, I'm going to murder everyone who gets in my way. And then even with some of the murders, it doesn't explain why he does it the way. Like when he murdered the mom in the diner from that scene in the trailer, when they find out how she died, that made zero sense as to why he murdered her that way and split her open like a frog on dissection.
The human organs thing that he had under his bed.
But we don't understand why that was a fetish of his in the first place. Like
he's psycho, bro.
Like I thought he was just going to snap her neck. I thought he put her through a wall. No, he like dissected her and left her hanging in the. First off, how did you get? I'm confused at I'm confused at the layout. Why is the barn built like this? And then there's an upstairs to the barn. Then in the upstairs, there's a basement in the upstairs of the barn. How did you drag an entire spaceship from out of the woods upstairs and then down a flight of stairs? Also, why did you keep it? Why did you not just wait for whatever government interference to come and take it? Were you planning to sell this at an auction or do like Thor did?
Well, Superman's family kept kept his thing too.
Did they?
Yes, they did. So
his thing had a message for him in it, though.
Probably to explain to him how he really came to be.
His had a message for him. That thing was glowing at night, and somehow the only person that woke up from it was him. He wakes up for the chickens, but not
it directly connected to him.
Maybe he was the only one who heard it. I'll give it that, but like.
But I'll tell you what, his parents were dumb as hell, not at least noticing something.
I couldn't tell. Did he bleed when he got hit with the sniper rifle or no?
No.
I feel like I couldn't tell if it was hair or blood, but I feel like the bullet might have grazed him.
It was a ricochet.
Really? Was it?
Yeah, because he felt it.
Because when I thought he was bleeding.
He never been shot before.
Right.
So it was a new feeling, but it ricocheted off his head, and then he goes like this, like. You would shoot me, and then you get.
That's my thing. You were just shitting on the entire cast of this film. When they try to take action, now you're offended. They told you the truth about who you are and where you're from.
Now you're.
Then you get pissed off about that. Then when I'm like, so we're not going to discuss that he has powers. We're not going to discuss, hey, use your powers for good. Don't hurt people. Nope. We're just kid got angry, shot lasers at his face. Next day of school, the end.
I think both parents get an F-.
Yeah.
Get like a.
The dad at least realized, hey, it's too late. Let's just kill the kid.
They all get like G's.
And then at the end of the film, when he finally loses his shit, your mom is the only one who's been vouching for you the whole film. Why are you terrorizing her? Where's your dad? He's gone, Mom. I'm home though. And then he just starts tearing up the house, and I'm like, okay, but
because
why?
She was the one that defended him beforehand. Then when she clearly is siding with the dad who just tried to kill him. That means, she ain't
she legit thought Dad was going out for a boys only camping trip.
What dumbass! I knew as soon
as
I knew take him away for the week. I'm like, oh damn.
Mom didn't know. She didn't realize.
Style.
She coincidentally, Cinnamon Sins will strike him for this too. Coincidentally, when she finds the pictures of all the murders he's committed and all the weird stuff that he's been doing, when she finds basically all his confessions and evidence as he kills the dad, and she realizes and calls, "Where's your dad?" Dad's gone. So your mom didn't. Your mom has been defending you this whole time, and now you're gonna blow the house up with her in it. And then she took too long to stab him with the thing. And then what pisses me off about the end? This little bastard. Because if you think about it, the plane was already this far above the house. He managed to stop the plane and throw it just straight down.
He basically
straight down in the house.
I imagine what he did is that. He probably got like just above the plane
and just steered it down,
just, like pushed it.
Because there's no way he stopped it flat in motion so that it could drop straight down on his house.
Here's what I don't get is that even with the plane dropping on the house and making it look like it was the plane, how are you gonna explain the puddle that his mom probably was, or the big ass hole in his father's
face, or the spaceship in the dissected woman in the barn that was unscathed?
Sony.
Or that you have to live.
I didn't realize this was a Sony movie.
And then you have to go live with your aunt.
Sony.
Who already is terrorized of you.
I'll tell you what part I thought was extremely stupid was the sheriff found the double B thing on the window of the diner.
I didn't realize it was a BB. We drew those in middle school.
I know.
All the time.
I was looking in the
middle.
But
we're on a
thing.
60-second warning, so we got to hurry up.
BB. And then he was like, oh, wait. I didn't see this blood stain with the BB. Anyway.
And then he became a bloodstain.
Anyway,
and then at the end of the end credits, this kid basically is in the end credits terrorizing the planet. Like, he literally just gets away with everything.
And no one does anything. No one does anything. No army, no nothing.
Nope.
Okay, final thoughts out of 10.
I'll give it a 6.5, hard 7, and that's me being nice. James Gunn, I'm so glad you're back for Guardians.
I gave... Oh, is it James Gunn? I thought it was... Oh, yeah. I'll give it 6 out of 10. It's a movie to kill time with, really. Nothing too amazing about it. But, guys, next week, we got 2 episodes coming. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about the the animated Aladdin. Just to, kind of brush up on it. Just check it out. Because next Thursday, in Spring Chat's spot, because these guys are out of town, they're enjoying themselves, whatever the case may be, we're going to talk about the new live-action Aladdin, which we should have watched from the beginning. Yeah. But anyway, next Tuesday, animated Aladdin. Next Thursday, you got us in the Spring Chat spot.
James Gunn, stay out of trouble. Please don't leave Marvel again. It worked out horribly for everybody.
Please, we want to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in your vision.
We will see y'all next Tuesday.
I'm Tony, Tafari, out of here.